Hi boys and girls, today you're going to draw a lion, and I'm going over the lion very lightly in a light color first so that I can make choices about what colors I'm going to use. Now I followed the directions on how to draw a lion, and you can practice this first if you want, but I chose a light color so I can make choices later on. And again, my recording is sped up. Now I'm going to go back in with the colors that I'm going to use. I'm going to do black for the eyes, and then I'm going to do black for the nose, and I'm going to leave a little white spot on that nose to make it look shiny. Then I'm going to fill in the whiskers and the mouth. And the rest of the coloring I'm going to do very lightly because we're going to paint over this. Again, it's going to be a resist. And if you remember, a resist is when you put crayon down and the paint resists or cannot go where the crayon is. So I'm coloring in the face in yellow. And then I'm going to use some brown for the ears. And lightly I'm going to color the body in orange. Now yesterday I told you to color down very hard. Today I'm going to say you can go a little bit lighter because you're going to want the paint to show through. And I'm just coloring them very lightly all around. And I'm not going to color the mane because I'm going to want to paint that with my paints. And I'm going to show you a special technique to do that as soon as we get there with the paints. And I'm going to show you how an artist uses their brush as a tool. So when I use my paints, and I'm going to draw a line for the lion to sit sort of like he's on a mountaintop. So when I go to use my paints, I make sure my brush is nice and clean. And I use the side of my brush in these little strokes. I'm going to go all the way around with one color first. You can see I'm leaving a little bit of space in between because I want to blend the colors together. I'm using the side of my brush. I'm doing these quick little strokes all the way around. And that's how an artist uses their brush, like a tool. I want to use a little bit of water because I don't want it to be too light. Now I'm going in with the orange, and the orange and the yellow are blending. And you can see how I'm using my brush to help it make it look like a mane just by the way I'm using my brush. I go all the way around, quick little strokes to make it look real feathery and soft. Now I'm going to do the same thing with the brown. Just real feathery and soft all the way around. And the colors will blend together to give it that mane, soft, furry look. But I'm using the side of my brush or the very tip of my brush so that it makes it look soft and not thick. Think about it like a ballerina dancing on a stage or very tippy-toe ice skating. Now I'm painting over the body, and you can see that orange coming through. And I'm making choices as an artist as to what I'm doing. Because artists make choices. Then I'm going to wash off my brush and go around the face with the orange very lightly. And I don't want my colors to be blending together too much. And then you're going to see here, I do the ground. And I thought I was going to do the ground in brown. But then I changed my mind. I thought maybe that's going to be too much brown in my picture. So I changed it up to green. And I make it all green. Because I want my lion to be standing on nice green, fresh savanna land. Just like in Lion King. And then I want you to notice how I do the sky. I do the sky in a special technique where I wet the paper first. And then I put the paint on so that it comes out nice and thin and sky-like. So I washed my brush off, I wet the paper, and you see how light it goes on now? Because the paper is already wet and the paint goes on nice and thin. So it has a sky-like look. And if it's too thick like it is over there, I can wash it out with some water. And now I'm adding some purple, so it's got that kind of cool savanna skylight look. And I'm just going to go over it, all over it. Now, I can't wait to see you post these to Artsonia, but I want you to make sure that they're dry before you post them to Artsonia. Now remember, it looks like mine went fast because I sped up the video. Yours should not go this fast. Artists take their time and pay attention to what they're doing. I cannot wait to see yours. Take your time and work like an artist.